Valorant, Jeff. Valorant is a popular video game. Have you been watching? You've been playing it, actually. You've been playing some.
I put in probably close to 30 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say so about 30 hours based on what I've been seeing. What are your thoughts on, we didn't talk about it last week, so what are your thoughts on Valorant?
The first night that I played, I didn't like it all that much. Now, the reason why I didn't like it all that much is because it's not really my style of competitive shooting. Like it's Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And I'm more of a run and gun type guy.
Before you go any further than that, I just want, when you say Counter-Strike, because I haven't played it, is it exactly like Counter-Strike where the guns have spray patterns to memorize? Or,
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Spray patterns, you name it.
Okay.
Right. So you hold in the trigger and one will go.
Right.
It's a lot of tapping. Like even fully automatic guns, unless you're like sitting beside somebody, you're just like you're gonna want to do it in spurts. So you know, a lot of it is like almost one-shot kills. You know, it's very very competitive. There's a lot of lingo that goes on. You know, you're talking things like, you know, up in heaven and down. You know, there's different. But what's cool is on the map, it'll tell you the nicknames of each place as you're standing in there.
Okay.
So that way you start learning pretty quickly what is what. Because I was kind of lost, and it was pretty intimidating because when I first got into the beta, it was pretty much this. It was the second time everybody was playing it, and most of the people that were playing it are like Counter-Strike pros or diehards.
Yeah.
You know, people that have connections and stuff. So you get into a game with randoms, and everybody's taking the game like really serious. You know, they want to win, which is great, but it's intimidating when you're a new player. So my first night that I played, although as I kept playing it as the night went on, I started enjoying it more and more. Second day that I got in, I started learning the lingo. I started learning how to buy, when to buy, and all the strategies. Started falling in love with it, and I think the game is very well done. I think it's extremely well done. There's one character in particular that has like a rocket launcher that everybody hates. It's stupid. It doesn't belong in the game.
Oh, I saw a gif of that where a guy just 1v5'd an entire team all with one hit. And
it's really bad.
He didn't even land it close.
Like you don't. It's bad. It's really bad. It's fucking broken. But you know, at the same time, it's new. It's in beta.
Yeah.
These things are, you know,
it's gonna happen.
You just kind of deal with it. And the good news is like you don't get those ults like every single round, so it's not like you're constantly dealing with it, but it is annoying. But yeah, I think the game's great. I think it's going to be a massive game. It's already big.
Yeah.
It's not even it's not even open to everybody.
No.
I mean, when this game opens up, I called it out as soon as it came out and I started playing it. I knew they hit gold with this.
The thing that really fucking set it off right now for them is, as stupid as it sounds, Space Godzilla is helping them out a lot right now.
Of course, yeah.
For both players and viewers, but more specifically, people who want to play the game or who are interested in it. Demand is super high, and they're controlling the flow and how they're making really specific and fucking genius. Use of that flow is drops on Twitch. And so by doing that, it runs the viewer count number through the fucking roof, and it's free advertising.
The amount of money that's being made right now is
just
insane. People are making millions right now.
Huge money.
Over weekends.
Huge money. So it's just like, and it's all just because they're stemming the flow and making use of drops to give people access. It's like taking a little hit.
Literally like drugs.
People running like 4 or 5 streams at once, 9 days straight, hoping for a drop to hit to give them a key.
Dude, I saw a thing on Twitter where somebody was, I don't know who this is, so I'm not calling anybody out in particular, but what I read on Twitter from somebody, I should have looked, and then I just laughed about it. A well-known streamer, or somebody that had a big amount of viewers, kind of cheating the system where they would stream for like 12 hours and they have drops, and then they would run the VOD for 12 hours and it would still give drops and just run ads, just fucking blast ads.
Oh, shit.
And just making money, you know, because there's so many people there, and you know that a ton of them are bots. So you go into somebody's chat channel and there's like,
bot.
like meme 22875, meme 28, and it goes for days on days. And if you run ads, you know,
doesn't matter. You're still getting it.
Doesn't matter. You're still gonna you're still gonna get it because it's. And then they're trying to farm these codes, and they're on eBay selling them, selling the beta key entries.
And that's that's a Twitch problem. That's not a streamer problem. If you're gonna have a fucking massive loophole like that,
yep,
you're gonna take it because you're gonna make a lot of fucking money on that shit.
Oh, you're gonna make thousands and thousands. People have got so many views. You just run one set of ads, you make thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Oh, it's nuts. So it's a huge game on Twitch right now. It's popular. It seems to be mostly done well in terms of the balance, despite the early, the early game.
Balance is really, really well done, dude. Like it's and the reason why it does well is because sure, the abilities kind of throw things for a loop a bit, but at the same time, they have the abilities done in a way that it doesn't feel too broken, except for that Rise guy or whatever his name is. He's the only one. They've done a great job. I think it looks good. I know some people were like, "Oh man, this looks like it's." I think it's looked like that for a reason, not only so that everybody and their dog can run the damn game, but I think when you have too much graphical stuff in a game like that, it kind of takes away from the game itself.
Well, it's made very specifically to be competitive, so it's basically like reducing it down to something like chess.
Yeah,
the chess doesn't have to be flashy with a bunch of shit. You're playing chess for the strategic element of it and the skill involved at that level. You don't need to have all sorts of flashy fucking... That's why competitive people, when they play these games, like any game, they turn all the graphics to 0. They don't want amazing shadows, dark shadows, or high grass, or fucking... They want to see everything. They want to have it 6 trillion frames per second. That's all they give a fuck about, are those two things. And so with a game like this, it makes sense. People were harping on how ugly it is. Well, first of all, I don't find it that ugly. It's no more ugly than, say, League of Legends. It's an art style. It's not like there's like aliasing issues all over the fucking place or anything. It's a plain game to serve a very specific purpose.
And dude, it runs very well.
Yeah.
It runs
that shit probably run on potatoes right now,
bro. Like the servers are nice. I haven't dropped from a single game. I haven't had people like drop out. I haven't had any lag spikes. Nothing, dude. The shit runs like butter.
Yep,
it's really, really well done. And I knew Riot was gonna hit a home run because they have a proven track record. I remember the first day that I played the game, I had a bunch of CS:GO fanboys and stuff. Like obviously, they're upset that now Counter-Strike is has competition. They're like, oh, it's gonna fail, and Counter-Strike's gonna crush it. I'm like, guys, let me tell you something right now. This game is gonna be absolutely huge. It's gonna be in the top 3 on Twitch for the next 5 years. Shit is gonna be massive. There's gonna be new teams, new organizations getting in on this. Riot already has the infrastructure that they use for LCS. They know how to create hype. They're doing like you said, they're doing a phenomenal job with the drops. This is the best marketing that I've seen since Apex Legends or the whole Fortnite shit when they turned it into Fortnite Chapter 2. The way that they're running this shit is gold. They can take their time with it. People are just frothing at the mouth to get their hands on this shit.
Yep.
And then when it opens up to everybody, the game's going to explode even more.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube now, you're seeing a bunch of YouTubers jumping on the fucking
time to
Valorant
start the fucking...
Got all the content,
the highlights,
kills, the highlights, stealing clips off other streamers and making millions of views. Or you're gonna have new dedicated channels. Everybody's jumping off the Fortnite train now and jumping on the Valorant train. And you know what? It's a good bet. It's a good bet because, like I said, Riot has got the track record. And if you were ever thinking about quitting Counter-Strike, leaving League of Legends, fucking off from Overwatch, fucking off from StarCraft, fucking off from any of these, PUBG,
dude, everyone's hopping on it.
Hop on Valorant because I'm telling you right now, the game ain't going nowhere and it's only going to explode. You think it's big now? It's going to get bigger. It might not get bigger in terms of the amount of concurrent viewers that you see on Twitch because right now there's a lot of botting and there's a lot of like artificial hype going on. But even when everything fucking calms down, instead of like 1.5 million viewers, there's gonna be 200,000,
300,000, 400,000 viewers, dude.
Oh,
first tournament they run, first major tournament,
God, bro. Mill easy.
Mill easy. And they're going to fucking, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to go in fucking hard. You know what they're going to do? They're going to basically copy the formula from League. They're going to have a theme song that's going to, for some reason, fucking bop harder than half the shit that's coming out on the radio right now. They're going to have a fucking music video involved with the shit. It's going to be turned to fucking 11. They're going to have everyone is going to be vying for a caster position on this thing. So you're going to get top commentators. They're going to have top production. And unless they seriously somehow cut their own fucking Achilles on both sides on the way in, they're gonna hit several home runs.
Not only that, dude, they have waited, and it's actually incredible what Riot has done, because not only have they dominated the esports world for many years now, or at least on the Twitch side of things. I mean, let's be real, they pretty much just dominated, period, for many years. They waited. They didn't pull Blizzard and have 15 different games out all at once. They didn't, try and take the hype and jump into something else too quick. They waited. They plotted. They said, "Okay, League is on a downturn right now. It's not what it was. Hey, listen, League is still big. It's making them billions of dollars. Yeah. It's a fucking huge game. But I guarantee you, it was no longer doing this anymore. It just wasn't. It was like teetering.
It's just plateaued. It's just sitting there, and occasionally it goes down, and sometimes it goes up, and sometimes it goes down.
Exactly. Yeah. But they waited, and now they dropped it. They dropped a new game, and they put it into a category that they didn't come out with a fucking battle royale bullshit. They came out, and they're going up against the juggernaut that has tested the
stood the test of time.
Stood the test of time. Thank you, sir. And that is Counter-Strike.
Yes.
The fact that Counter-Strike today is still a massive game with a huge fan base is nutty, considering how many different games and genres and hype they have stood all of.
Counter-Strike doesn't have a Riot behind them.
No.
Valve doesn't sit back there doing crazy Riot shit for esports. They just don't. No. And so the fact that CSGO is as old as it is and is in the environment that it's in is basically makes it, as far as I'm concerned, CSGO might be the greatest esport of all fucking time.
Well, not only that, dude, the thing that really put them on the map was their gambling skins, was the skin shit.
Oh, that was wild.
And that created a culture within itself.
Yeah.
You know? Because when you were able to gamble on those fucking sites on Twitch, when they allowed that shit on Twitch, that shit was like number one, just people running skins all day, and there's like two types of Counter-Strike. You've got like the gamblers, and then you've got like the actual players, and you've got like two big communities.
Yes.
And it's kept them relevant. It's I don't know how they did it, but they did it.
Look, I love StarCraft. Obviously, I almost tossed 10 years to the shit for a career. CSGO is a bigger esport than StarCraft.
Oh, easily.
By miles. Magnitudes. Yeah. At any stage in its life, basically, with a very short window for StarCraft 2. Where
2012, 2013.
It dominated everything. Just this tiny window. And it's gone. But CSGO weathered all of that. And now it's bigger now than it was before.
Yeah.
And it didn't have anything really major backing it other than the scene itself.
Dude, the crazy thing about it is I think that Valorant might actually make Counter-Strike even bigger.
It might, because people might be like, I like this, but I don't like the abilities. And then they go to Counter-Strike, and it's basically exactly that.
Well, not only that, I think Counter-Strike is going to have to step their game up. I think they're going to have to innovate a little bit. I think that they're gonna compete with Valorant in terms of prizing, tournaments, opportunities, all that stuff. Sure, Counter-Strike in the short term now might be taking a hit because so many people are playing Valorant, including Counter-Strike players. But I think in the long run, I don't even think it's going to really affect Counter-Strike all that much. They've already stood the tests of time.
Yes,
they're going to do it again because that's Counter-Strike. But Valorant is going to surpass it in terms of viewership.
You know what I think this is going to be? You know what I think this is going to turn out to be? League of Legends and Dota.
Yeah.
You're going to have Valorant.
And the casuals.
Valorant is League of Legends. I mean, obviously. And then CS:GO will be the
Dota.
Dota. It'll be the pinky up while you drink, high society, old guard, 500 IQ CS:GO guys versus the, Adderall snorting, coked out of their mind 15-year-olds playing Valorant on the other side. And both are going to exist without issue, side by side, and both will still have big numbers, both will still have healthy sports scenes.
Yep.
It'll just cater to despite the fact that the games are almost identical, they will cater to just a different enough audience that they will both be able to exist by themselves.
I thought I was gonna hate the abilities because I'm just over abilities. It's tastefully done in Valorant. It's not over the top. They all kind of work together as a team. It's a very team-oriented game. There hasn't been really a lot of raging. I haven't seen much raging. I only ever told one guy to shut the fuck up like once, considering that, that you can just talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a really good job with this game. I'm excited to see where it goes. And, too bad it isn't necessarily for me, although I really enjoy it. I'm getting better at it. I hope it does big. I know it's going to do big things, but
it'll
I
be
think
fun to watch.
And it's great for streamers, man.
Yeah.
It's going to create a lot of careers. It's going to revive a lot of careers because there's a ton of ex-Overwatch players or even League players or whatever thing you can think of, StarCraft, whatever, that have been looking for a game that is competitive, that's new, that's fresh, that they can get on at the ground floor, and they know that there's going to be a 3 to 5 year career window possibly opening for them.
Yeah.
So, once again, Riot is going to be giving people a lot of jobs, a lot of opportunity. It's great for Twitch as a whole. It's just good for the numbers. It's good for everybody's pockets. I think it's a great thing. I know we give Riot a lot of shit because, all the bullshit they do behind the scenes.
The games are good. They're a bunch of misogynistic fucks at the top.
Yep.
And they're assholes, but their company makes good games. That doesn't mean everyone in the company is that. They're just making good games. So Valorant, but here's the downside to Valorant, and this is what the actual post was in here, is the anti-cheat system that they have deployed for it right now. So there's a couple of things to talk about in regards to this. The first thing is that the anti-cheat is not stopping everyone. They never tend to stop everyone. Hackers are still making their way in, and that's only disconcerting or more disconcerting, I guess, than usual, because this anti-cheat is actually really fucking invasive. This anti-cheat runs at ring 0 or at kernel level, which, from the operating system, as far as that's concerned, is basically from the moment you press your fucking power button, that anti-cheat has access to everything. If you have kernel access, you are basically at the core of the matrix, and you just have your hands on everything at all times. You can uninstall it, and as soon as you run the game, it will reinstall itself automatically and gain kernel access all over again. So when you have that on there, everyone's concern is, regardless of what company would deploy this level of anti-cheat, it's a massive security hole, because if any singular person cracks that shit and breaks in, they can get access to pretty much everything that happens on your computer at any point in time, which is, as it sounds, a bit of a problem. The thing that's making people more nervous about that is that ultimately Riot is owned by Tencent. Tencent is one of the largest companies in China who has already been proven to do some less than savory shit with their games in the past, and has been at the forefront a number of times for things like people being concerned about their information. It's a large reason why people don't even want to go near the Epic launcher, for example. Yeah. So that is just something that is currently being discussed. It was just discovered here, I guess, within the last this week. I saw it pop up in my Twitter timeline in a couple of places. It's something that not a lot of people will understand, and even if you told the average player that, the odds of them giving a shit about it or even understanding what you're telling them is slim. And so it is mildly disconcerting. Not, and for me, not because it's Tencent owned. Look, China's already got all my shit. I don't give a fuck. The problem is that anyone did this, it should be a red flag. Because regardless of who does this, kernel level anti-cheat, when cracked, is that's insane. I mean, there's nothing else to say, but it's insane. And not only that, it's unnecessary. And what's worse is that it's being shown to not be stopping all the hackers anyway. So despite this egregious invasion of your computer that you wouldn't even give an antivirus program half the time, it's not stopping everyone. So hopefully they come up with an anti-cheat that isn't fucking kernel level, so that people can not have a massive security hole in their computer. But to this point, that is something to be aware of. If you are going to download and install Valorant, be aware that the anti-cheat that is installed automatically, whether you remove it or not, it will reinstall itself, is kernel level. And what that means is it basically has its hands in every cookie jar throughout your computer and can take at will, if somebody wanted to, if they get access to it, whatever the fuck they feel like. And so, just be aware of that. It's a thing. They have said that they have had it tested by one or more third-party security firms, and it has been tested to be fine, but that hasn't meant shit over the years for security. The way that computer shit goes is no matter how airtight it is, somebody inevitably finds a way to crack the shit. And if it's a game as popular as Valorant, you better bet your ass that a lot of people currently, probably Russian, are working on ways to crack that fucking software. So, just be mindful of that. If it's something that you don't really give a fuck about, if they find your 2003 tax folder full of 4K porn, that's fine. Don't worry about it. If you're worried about them maybe actually finding a way in and key logging and all of a sudden your passwords are fucked, okay, maybe now you want to be concerned about it. But that's just something to keep in mind for Valorant. Otherwise, have fun. Everyone else seems to be having fun. If you can get a key.
Go to eBay and buy them for a few $100.
There you go.
If you're that desperate.
Cut the line. Just get in there.